Hello everyone, I just wanted to do a brief video on how you prepare for the mobile operating systems portion for your CompTIA A+ certification exams. If you don't have the platform you need, such as a Mac or an Android operating system, and you want to be able to do that, go online, look for an emulator that you can use. I'm going to show you an example of one, and you can find your own, but that's the best way to practice those hands-on skills for those questions that are going to come up on the A+ certification exam. Let's take a look now. As you can see, I'm using appetize.io, and I've selected an Android operating system using the Nexus 9. It's going to use Android 7.0, and I've only got 60 seconds, so you can sign up for an account. You can buy the emulator, whatever the case may be. I'm just going to do a quick, brief overview. We'll just click tap to play on this, and it should bring us up to be able to use this. You can see I have a view. If I go to home, I can now see I have the other options. If I wanted to select the settings, now I can go in and look at other menus. I can click on settings here. I can take a look at where my apps, the type of display that's set up, any accounts. If I want to practice setting up an email account, I should go through, set up a Google account, or if you want to practice for a corporate account, you can set up an Exchange account. You can go here to Google and then be able to go next. You can see you have the full functionality of selecting what you would if you had the device in front of you. You can see that's going to check the info, whatever the case may be, but I don't really need that. I can now put in my information if I wanted for my Gmail account. You can set that up if you want. This is all about practice. If I wanted, I can then hit the button that allows me to see what all's open. I can go back into settings. I can use the back button, whatever the case may be. So whatever you want to do, you should be able to do here in an emulator. So it's the best way to practice rather than spending money for a device, but it's completely up to you. As you see, I'm just navigating around at will. It's completely up to you as to what you want to take a look at. Let's say we wanted to take a look at how to set up the Wi-Fi on an Android device. We could then click on settings and go in and do that. So that's great practice. You can see that Wi-Fi is one of the options that we have, so we can select that if need be. Let's say we want to test out the security feature to figure out how to do that and change that. We can click on that, click on screen lock. We can set up a pattern if we want to, so we know how to do that. And it'll ask us to do it again. As you can see, using an emulator can give you that real life practice in case you don't have the actual mobile device to be able to practice on that operating system. Let's take a look at the iOS side. Perhaps you've never used an iPhone, so we can select the iPhone which we want to use. I've just selected iPhone 7. We start our emulator, and then we should be able to see the background of what an iPhone would look like if we had one physically in our hand, only we're doing it virtually. You can see once this comes up, we'll just hit the home button here, and we'll get brought to the screen. We can scroll through just as if we had an actual iPhone. We can select on the settings of that to figure out how to do different things, such as we can click on General. We can see what options are listed here. If we wanted to reset the device, we know that we can go here. If we wanted to find out information about the iPhone, this is where we would go. So we have lots of abilities here. You see that we can have to use the mouse as our finger so that we can scroll down and look at the various options that are on our settings window. Another example is if you wanted to know about location services as one of those things that turn off when you're not using your phone. Well, how do you find that? Here on an iOS, just go to privacy, and you can see there's the location services, and you can figure out how to shut that off so that you know if you have a question about turning that off, you know how to get there. Where your contacts are, calendars, Bluetooth, all of these options just like you would see if you had a phone. If you wanted to know more about Siri, you have the option. The Safari browser, lots of things we can do with an emulator if we don't have that, and you will see that will definitely help you on your A+ exam when you get those questions. By having actual practice, it will become much easier to select the right answer. Obviously, before using any emulator, make sure you do your research to make sure that it's a safe site, make sure that it's a reputable emulator that you can do everything you want to do with that. Just wanted to give you guys some information on how to prepare for your A Plus certification exam using emulators to either use your mobile operating system such as Android or the iOS. It's up to you. Just make sure you get that practice in before you take the exam.